What if I told you that the single healthiest thing you do every morning, that vibrant green smoothie packed with spinach and beets, might actually be silently damaging your kidneys? It sounds almost impossible, doesn't it? We have been told for decades that the more greens we eat, the better. But there is a hidden paradox in the nutrition world that very few people talk about, and it specifically targets women over the age of 60. You might think you are flushing toxins out of your system, but in reality, you could be pouring a concentrated chemical cocktail directly into your body's most delicate filter, paving the way for painful kidney stones and long-term filtration stress. The good news is that you don't have to stop sipping, you just have to change the ingredients. Today, I am going to save your kidneys from the smoothie trap and show you exactly what to blend instead. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and I'm here to help you navigate your health with clarity and compassion, cutting through the noise to find what really works for our changing bodies. Before we dive into the science that could save you a trip to the emergency room, I have a quick question for you. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? I absolutely love seeing where our community of strong, proactive women comes together from all over the world. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing to join our journey toward vibrant longevity. Let's set the scene. It's a beautiful morning. You walk into your kitchen, pull out your blender, and grab two big handfuls of raw spinach, maybe a beet for circulation, and some almond milk. You blend it up, drink it down, and feel a sense of accomplishment. You have just consumed more vitamins in 2 minutes than most people eat all day. And yes, 30 years ago, your body would have handled that green sludge without a second thought. But what nobody tells you is that when we concentrate these specific raw ingredients into a liquid form, we are bypassing the body's natural brakes. When you eat a salad, you have to chew. It takes time. You get full. But when you blend, you are essentially pre-digesting a massive amount of plant matter. This floods your system with a specific compound that for women our age can act less like a superfood and more like a silent assassin. But to understand why this happens, we need to look at exactly what is hiding inside those leaves. And while that simple change of blending versus chewing seems minor, there is a surprising microscopic reason why our bodies react this way, which is exactly what we are going to explore next. To understand why your morning routine might be backfiring, we have to talk about something called oxalates. Now, I know that sounds like a dry chemistry term, but I want you to visualize something very specific. Imagine taking a beautiful, smooth pane of glass and shattering it into tiny, microscopic shards, or imagine ultra-fine sandpaper. That is essentially what an oxalate crystal looks like under a microscope. Oxalates are natural compounds found in many plants. In the plant, they act as a defense mechanism, a sort of natural pesticide to keep bugs from eating them. When we eat them in normal, moderate amounts, our bodies are usually pretty good at handling them. But here is the problem. Oxalates are sticky. They love to bind with minerals, especially calcium. When you drink that high-oxalate smoothie, millions of these tiny shards enter your bloodstream and eventually travel to your kidneys. Your kidneys are your body's filtration plant. Their job is to sift through your blood and remove waste. But when these oxalates arrive in high concentrations, they meet up with calcium and bind together, forming calcium oxalate crystals. Think of your kidneys like a fine mesh sieve or a coffee filter. If you pour water through, it flows perfectly. But if you start pouring sand into that filter, eventually the holes get blocked. The sand accumulates. In your kidneys, this sand clumps together to form stones. If you have ever experienced a kidney stone or known someone who has, you know it is a pain comparable to childbirth. But even if you don't form a stone immediately, that constant barrage of microscopic crystals can cause inflammation and scarring, slowly wearing down the kidney's ability to filter properly. So why is this suddenly a problem now? You might have eaten spinach your whole life. The danger lies not just in the oxalates themselves, but in the delivery system, the smoothie, and the specific ingredients we choose. There are 5 specific ingredients that are the absolute worst offenders, the big 5, and I bet at least 2 of them are in your kitchen right now. Let's unmask these villains. The first and deceptive one is raw spinach. I call it the spinach paradox. We think of Popeye, we think of strength, but spinach is one of the highest oxalate foods on the planet. A single cup of raw spinach contains about 650 milligrams of oxalates. To give you some context, a low oxalate diet for kidney health usually recommends staying under 50 to 100 milligrams per day. When you stuff 2 cups of spinach into a blender, you are drinking over 1,000 milligrams of oxalates in one go. That is 10 times the daily limit in a single glass. The second villain is Swiss chard. It's beautiful, colorful, and packed with magnesium, but it rivals spinach in oxalate density. Third on our list are beets and beet greens. We love them for blood pressure, but they are oxalate bombs. Fourth is rhubarb. You might not put this in smoothies often, but some people do for the tartness. It is exceptionally high in oxalates. And the fifth one might shock you. Almonds and almond milk. Many of us switched to almond milk thinking it was the heart-healthy choice, but almonds are a seed, and they are protected by high levels of oxalates. So if you're making a smoothie with 2 cups of spinach and a cup of almond milk, you are creating a perfect storm for kidney stress. Here is a fact that blows most people's minds, and I'd love for you to weigh in on this in the comments. Did you know that cooking these greens changes the game entirely? Boiling spinach and discarding the water can reduce oxalates by up to 87%, but when we blend them raw, we get 100% of the crystal load. It's a classic case of the preparation method mattering just as much as the food itself. Does that surprise you? Let me know if you've been team raw spinach or team cooked spinach all these years. Now, you might be thinking, Dr. Emily, I drank green smoothies in my 40s and 50s and I was fine. Why is 65 the turning point? This is a crucial question, and the answer isn't that your body is failing, it's that your body is evolving, and we need to respect that evolution. As we age, our biological margin for error shrinks slightly. It's a natural part of life. Specifically, our kidney function naturally declines, usually by about 1% per year after age 40. By the time we hit 65 or 70, our kidneys might be working at about 60 to 70% of the efficiency they had when we were 20. This is not a disease, it is normal aging, just like our skin gets thinner or our eyes need reading glasses. However, there is another factor at play for women specifically: estrogen. When we go through menopause and estrogen levels drop, our protection against calcium mobilization changes. Our bodies handle calcium differently. Furthermore, as we age, our gut health changes. We have a specific bacteria in our gut called Oxalobacter formigenes. Its entire job is to eat oxalates before they get absorbed into the blood. It's our little internal bodyguard. But after years of antibiotic use, stress, or just normal aging, populations of this bacteria often die off. So you have a perfect storm: slightly less efficient kidneys, fewer bodyguard bacteria in the gut, and a massive influx of liquefied oxalates from that healthy smoothie. It's like trying to force a fire hose of water through a garden hose. Eventually, the pressure is too much. But please do not despair. I am not telling you to stop drinking smoothies. I am simply telling you that we need to swap the fuel. We can keep the habit, keep the convenience, and keep the health benefits, but we need to do it in a way that hugs your kidneys rather than hitting them. This brings us to the kidney-safe swap strategy. This is where we take control. We don't have to give up greens. We just have to choose the right greens. The plant kingdom is vast, and there are wonderful low-oxalate alternatives that give you all the vitamins without the crystal risk. First, let's swap that spinach for kale. Now, I know kale has a tough texture, but when blended, it's fine. Kale is significantly lower in oxalates than spinach. Even better? Bok choy. It is juicy, mild, and incredibly low in oxalates. Another fantastic option is arugula or watercress. These peppery greens are practically oxalate-free and great for your liver. For the liquid base, instead of high-oxalate almond milk, swap to coconut milk, oat milk, or just plain water with a splash of lemon. Lemon is actually a secret weapon here. It contains citrate, which prevents stones from forming. It's like a shield that stops the crystals from sticking together. But here is the biggest scientific hack I can give you, and it is something most doctors forget to mention: the calcium pairing trick. For years, people with kidney stones were told to avoid calcium. That was wrong. We now know that you need to eat calcium with your oxalates. Why? Remember how I said oxalates are sticky? If you eat calcium and oxalates at the same time, they bind together in your stomach and intestines, not your kidneys. They bind in the gut and you poop them out safely. They never get into the bloodstream to cause damage. So if you absolutely must have a little spinach, add a scoop of high-quality yogurt or cow's milk kefir to that smoothie. The calcium in the dairy will grab the oxalates in the blender and neutralize them before they ever reach your kidneys. It is a brilliant biological loophole. So let's put this all together. I want to give you a perfect prescription, a recipe that I recommend to my patients and that I drink myself. We are going to call this the Velvet Green Kidney Glow. It's delicious, hydrating, and completely safe for your filtration system. Get your blender ready. We are going to start with 1 cup of water or unsweetened coconut water for hydration. Add half a cup of frozen blueberries. Blueberries are low in oxalates and packed with antioxidants for brain health. Next, add a generous handful of baby kale or bok choy, our safe greens. Now for the creaminess. Instead of almond butter, we are going to use 1/4 of an avocado. This gives you healthy fats for your skin and heart and makes the smoothie incredibly creamy without the oxalate load of nuts. Then squeeze in the juice of half a lemon. That's your stone prevention insurance. Finally, add a scoop of your favorite protein powder if you like, or a tablespoon of flax seeds for fiber. Blend that up until it is silky smooth. This drink is vibrant purple or deep green, depending on your blueberries, and it tastes fresh and bright. You are getting fiber, antioxidants, healthy fats, and hydration, all with a microscopic oxalate count that your kidneys will handle with ease. It is a drink that respects your physiology. Navigating our health after 60 isn't about restriction, it is about adaptation. It is about understanding that what worked for us at 30 might need a little tweaking today, and that is okay. In fact, it's empowering. You now possess the knowledge to look at a menu or a recipe and make a choice that protects your future. You don't have to fear your food, you just have to be smarter than the trends. By making these simple swaps, bok choy for spinach, coconut for almond, adding that squeeze of lemon, you are actively preserving your independence and your vitality. You are telling your body, I love you, and I'm taking care of you. I want you to try that velvet green recipe this week. In fact, make it tomorrow morning, and when you do, come back and tell me how you felt. Did you notice you felt lighter, less bloated? I bet you will. If you found this guide helpful, please click that subscribe button. I have so much more to share with you about thriving in this beautiful chapter of life. We are in this together, looking out for each other, one safe smoothie at a time. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, sending you love and health. I'll see you in the next video.